Bombad.
Stay Bombad. Welcome to the Bombadcast.
The first female directed Star Wars feature film? What is this?
That's right. That's absolutely correct, Scotty. The one thing that everyone on the internet wants to hear is two cis-het white guys talking about the first female-led Star Wars film. It's great to be here. It's great to be
It
here.
is.
Another episode, yet another new
In your
episode
ears.
of the podcast. We're in yours. We're in your ears. We're
Your
in your ears.
brother.
Oh, hold on. There it is. There it is.
No, I think it's really important that we discuss this. Oh, good morning, princess. That was beautiful.
That's right. It was a
No, I
lovely
think it
good
is.
morning
I think it is important we discuss this because we're probably not the most, I guess, the experts in the subject, but I still think giving our
being
opinions
female?
are
No,
important
not absolutely not,
because
Scott.
I think it's important to defend and protect and support all the females that are in this space. And
Yes.
if we're not doing that ourselves, then what are we doing, right? So the
The
entire
non-cis het men or
I-
the non-cis het people, just of all of them, kind of need us to put our white privilege shield
yeah.
out sometimes and just kind of take the brunt of that for them.
But the problem is, it's people that are so much like us that are causing all the clickbait drama when it comes to this. I've had several people
Right.
ask me, like my father and other people included, they were all very triggered by this article that they didn't read, because that's
Right.
the point of this. A lot of what happens now in today's culture is that they hear it on a broadcast, they see Ben Shapiro
yes.
tweet about it, or they have
Well-
other publications that are not such good sources posting things like, we're discrediting all the work that men have done,
Right.
or we're gonna tear down what George Lucas established, and it making it females is making it woke. Like I've had people actually come to me this past week asking me
Yeah.
about what all that means.
Well, they're apparently it's a topic on the always trustworthy Fox News. They even, like, I remember, like, I've seen, so the clip has been all over, right? And
Yes.
you've got like the whole, like, well, that's why I'm a Trekkie, and she even does like the live long and prosper backwards. It looks like
Yep.
she's about to
Yeah.
like do like the national symbol for eating pussy.
Jerry!
She's like, that's why I'm a Trekkie, and it's like you don't know what you're talking about. Also, Star Trek is way
way
more
socially
progressive
aware.
than Star Wars.
Way more progressive.
For more on that, let's hear from Jean-Luc Picard. Oh, okay. Well, that's
Thank you.
absolutely correct. Jean-Luc Picard, everybody.
So I do think it's important to say that, because from the top, there's always, when these articles come out, and Variety is the first one to post this, they're usually who Lucasfilm goes through to do releases. I think the big thing is, this is like the first that dropped in 2024. Everyone's expecting to get more news on it. They start filming in February, and we're going to actually at some point during the stream all listen to this article from Variety and kind of take down and look at things. But before we do that, we want to dive into the history of the impact of females in Star Wars. George Lucas had a mom. That's very important to address. So already that's done.
Taking a bold stance.
Bold stance. Marshall Lucas saved Star Wars, and that's not a joke. It was a train wreck with George editing it, and most people do not give that man enough credit, of that woman enough credit, because they all give the man credit because he's the director, but he's not the best director. He's a great movie director, not a character director. And Marshall Lucas was the one that had to refine pretty much all of the first movie. So we're already there. Iconic characters like Princess Leia. I just don't understand where they're making it woke. I'm like, women are women. Women have been around as long as men have been around.
They've been in there. Like, guys, this is literally one of the this franchise has held on to its to its conservative audience well into the 2020s. Like, don't worry, they're not trying to lose you.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I never understood. Like, and then you've got a character like Cara Dune, who is like kind of this like badass female warrior character, and no one complains. It's like, what? I don't understand.
No. Well,
where
because
the
she got to
complaints
say
come
what
in.
she wanted to about the Jewish people. And
That's true. And what happened to her, Jerry? She didn't get fired.
she didn't get fired. She got
blushed. But no, she didn't get fired, which is also a big misconception. Her contract ended. That's what happened. She didn't get fired. They just didn't renew her contract for good reason. But that's the problem.
Yeah, she wanted to make westerns with Ben Shapiro, from what I know.
Exactly. Which is I couldn't imagine how wonderful this is. Going from the biggest IP in the known universe to then going to make Daily Wire content.
Daily Wire content. Daily Wire content, like a sweaty Ben Shapiro yelling faster, more intense at you.
Dude, that's my frustration here, if I'm going to be honest with you, is like, you got to pick and choose kind of what you want, right? And then let me continue this trend. Marsha Lucas, right? Carrie Fisher, huge impact on the industry, and of course, not even just that, as writing female characters as a whole, playing Princess Leia. Another really big one is, and everyone for some reason is a hot topic. I don't understand. Kathleen Kennedy. I'm going to real quick pull up the movies that Kathleen Kennedy has worked on that most people don't seem to bitch about ever. If anything, they actually praise these movies because they're some of the greatest movies ever made. So I'm going to read a handful of them. This is her as producer, not even executive producer. Here we go.
Yeah.
Producer. E.T., The Color Purple.
Heard of it.
Money Pit.
Heard of it.
Empire of the Sun. Arachnophobia. Hook. Jurassic Park. Indian in the Cupboard. Right? You've got Twister. You've got Sixth Sense. Jurassic Park 3. AI, Munich, War of the Worlds. You've got The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. You've got The Adventures of Tintin. Warhorse, Lincoln. You've got every recent Star Wars project. Okay, every single one. Then you've also got, let's look, Gremlins, Back to the Future, Goonies, An American Tale, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future Part 2, Gremlins 2. You've also got Back to the Future Part 3. You've also got Schindler's List. That's an incredible. The Flintstones, Balto, Jurassic World. Lost World, Jurassic Park. You've also got Signs, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You've got The Last Airbender in 2010. You got BFG.
Oh, don't tell people that one.
I'm sorry, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
You've got Raiders of the Lost Ark as an associate producer, Twilight Zone movie. You've got Poltergeist. You've also got television. Here's the television alone. I don't know if you've ever heard of any of these. Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Light and Magic, Andor, Willow, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and Acolyte. You are all an idiot if you tell me you watched those movies and she ruined them for you.
No, listen, a humble slate of independent films is what she put out. A humble slate of independent films.
None of the biggest franchises of all time.
All these idiots remember about Kathleen Kennedy is that Eric Cartman, the incel on South Park, pretended to be her and said, "Put a chick in it, and make her gay," which was making fun of you. That was making fun of you, stupid.
Yes.
I hope you're listening. I really hope you listen to our show.
But that's the problem. Anyway,
we're just kidding.
You've got the trifecta. You've got Marsha Lucas, really, and there's much more than that. I'm just saying it as an example to lead into this article that if you're already upset about women in Star Wars, then you probably just hate women and you're sexist and you're misogynist, because that honestly means to me that if you can't handle The Force Awakens, right, or if you can't even handle A New Hope or The Phantom Menace, any of these starting movies, you're not a Star Wars fan, because that's not. Well,
Ellen Ripley.
Oh, Ellen
was
Ripley.
an alien.
Yeah.
By Sigourney Weaver. Have you ever met another Sigourney? No.
Let me ask you this.
Sigourney.
The Avatar franchise, isn't she also in that too?
The one with the big blue people? Yeah. Sigourney Weaver. She's in that.
And
She's
a
also in
female.
Finding. She's a voice in Finding Nemo.
So, Jerry, is it?
Well,
just
we don't
me?
really consider her. We consider her one of us.
we consider for one of us toxic men. So like
Yeah.
I just it blows my mind that people spend so much time sweating over this and making this a huge cultural, I don't know, discussion when it shouldn't be. Because you know what, right now, let's just go ahead. For audio listeners, we have the article pulled up as well, but we're going to listen to the article. I will read the headline, okay?
This is in Variety as well, so you can go
This
check
is
it out in
Variety.
Variety.
Yes, by Zach Sharf. This is the exact article. This is published on January 2nd. And since then, I've gotten phone calls, I've gotten texts. So this is the title. Daisy Ridley's new Star Wars director says it's about time we had a female filmmaker come forward to shape a galaxy far, far away. Title is pretty clickbait because Bryce Dallas Howard has already shaped a galaxy far, far away. We've got creators from Star Wars Visions who are all female. You've got women that have worked all in Star Wars animation. So I think the article title is what set everyone off because
and unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast these days. Which is, I hate to just be like, "Oh, that's just how it is," because that's how you get eyes on this kind of stuff. Which is
exactly,
it's ridiculous. But here we are.
That's the unfortunate part. So we're going to listen to this audio, the entire article, then we're going to give some commentary on it because I think it's important to address. So this is the full article, and it's read by a software on their website. So here we go. And I will scroll through it, and you can all watch or listen if you're listening to this right now. So here we go.
Daisy Ridley's new Star Wars director says it's about time we had a female filmmaker come forward to shape the galaxy far, far away. By Zach Sharf. Daisy Ridley's Rey is coming back to the big screen in a new Star Wars movie directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, Ms. Marvel, and written by Stephen Knight, Peaky Blinders. The film makes Obaid-Chinoy the first woman and first person of color to direct a Star Wars feature film. Previous film directors in the franchise include original creator George Lucas, Irvin Kershner, Empire Strikes Back, Richard Marquand, Return of the Jedi, J.J. Abrams, The Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker, and Rian Johnson, The Last Jedi. While Star Wars television projects have featured female directors, most notably Deborah Chow, the movies have shut them out until now. I'm very thrilled about the project because I feel what we're about to create is something very special, Obaid-Chinoy recently told CNN. We're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. Not too much is known about Ridley's Star Wars return, which will pick up with Rey following the events of 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy said at last year's Star Wars celebration that Ridley's new film will follow Rey as she builds a new Jedi Order. The executive teased a bit more about the plot in an interview with IGN by revealing Star Wars fans will pick up with Rey well over a decade after The Rise of Skywalker. Well, we're 15 years out from Rise of Skywalker, so we're post-war, post-First Order, and the Jedi are in disarray, Kennedy confirmed. There's a lot of discussion around who are the Jedi? What are they doing? What's the state of the galaxy? She's attempting to rebuild the Jedi Order, based on the books, based on what she promised Luke, so that's where we're going. When asked if Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker could be involved in the film via flashbacks, or as a Force ghost like he was in The Rise of Skywalker, Kennedy answered, I don't know if we'll spend a lot of time in flashbacks or on Force ghosts or things like that, but certainly the spirit of what he represents to her is going to be significant. Ridley told Collider in November that she had not yet read the script for her new movie, but she did know the story plan. I'm very excited, she said. The story is really cool. It's not what I expected, but I'm very excited. In an interview with Variety at Star Wars Celebration, Kennedy said Ridley was out of her mind excited to return to the franchise as Rey. It was a pretty straightforward phone call, Kennedy said about asking Ridley to return. I started out by just saying, hey, I think we're getting near being ready. We've been talking a lot about what we're doing in the movie space, and I said, I think we're getting close to being ready. How would you like to go to Celebration? That was really the beginning of it. She was out of her mind excited. In addition to Obaid-Chinoy's Rey movie, Lucasfilm is also developing 2 more Star Wars movie, an origin story about the Force directed by James Mangold, and a film from franchise veteran Dave Filoni that will wrap up the story being told across television series, such as The Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
Okay.
Next article.
Nope. not doing that. So
Listen, it's good to to hear that 2013 Siri is still getting work.
I'm. That was pretty damn funny. No, I agree. It's good. Put that really weird silver microphone to work. I tell you what.
Oh yeah,
she needs business. Just apparently, like Star
She
Wars
does.
needs females in it. It's just part of it. Okay, so article's great. I love that the article mentions everyone's expectations of this movie are excited, but at no
Yeah.
point in the article should it piss anyone off. I'm serious. There was no line in there that could upset someone.
It's amazing when you get like just everything in context, and it's like, oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, that's very true. There hasn't been someone, a woman, to direct a movie yet.
No. Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, you can name a bunch of people that have been involved in Star Wars that have directed TV show episodes and made short series and stuff, but you're right. I mean, look at this right here. Steph Green's another example that I failed to mention. I just love this. This is all it says. This is the only quote that she provided that made everyone so upset. I'm very thrilled about the project because I feel what we're about to create is something very special. Bombad Chinoy recently told CNN. We're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. I don't know how that would piss anyone off.
Well, and I think the one, and I can't remember where this was. There was an interview where everyone was, the quote they were pulling, which I think wasn't even the actual quote, and we'll have to look this up. But
okay,
she said that someone said that it would make men uncomfortable or something like that.
I'm looking right
I believe
now.
was the conceit, and then that's when you had Senator Ted Cruz, the world's most laughable idiot.
Yes.
In office, actually coming forward to be like, oh, so you don't want boys to go watch your Star Wars film and stuff like that. And then Daisy Ridley rightly dunked on Ted Cruz, for not leaving her state or whatever. Ray wouldn't leave a place that she was in charge of if they were in trouble.
So okay,
like Mr. Cruz did.
I did find the article. I did find the Ted Cruz. It's a screenshot of Ted Cruz's tweet, and it says Disney's announced they don't want men or boys, presumably, to go into the next Star Wars. Have they ever actually met a Star Wars fan? Go woke, go broke. And there is a video posted from someone named Matt Walsh that does say, a clip that says make men uncomfortable.
I love that you just said, I love that you said someone named Matt Walsh, who is one of the, this dude is one of those, that's one of those right-wing grifters that friend of the show, Jared the Dark Jedi, loves to dunk on. Yeah. This guy is, I think he helps make content for Daily Wire, if I'm thinking correctly.
Probably.
Or he's got his own content or something.
But that's the thing. And honestly, I wish we had Jared on.
Think they're so funny.
I wish we had Jared on for this because it's something to bring up. There is in terms of when these things, come out, these articles, there is this weird echo or feedback loop that happens because it's where these lies start to develop and where these people start to, make up these assumptions on what was said and what wasn't said. And look, I actually have that video right here from the new director of this, I guess, Ray movie. And I let me see if I can get that pulled up right here, because I think it's so silly how this echo chamber ends up repeating false information. You know what I mean? And just having it become a real big thing where it shouldn't be. So here's the actual clip where she says something along the lines of what Matt Walsh seems to be an offensive thing against boys and Star Wars. So here we go. We'll watch the full thing.
Activating. What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying
that's Jon Stewart as well.
That's Jon Stewart, yes.
So that's probably why they all hate this shit.
Patriarchy, that power structure. And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken. Point taken.
But it is.
Can we pause real quick?
To be able.
and I don't want to, because I don't want to talk over what she's saying.
Yes.
But the way that Jon Stewart handled that right there, and it was all for laughs and stuff, but that is a grown,
it's an adult,
grown ass adult reaction.
Yeah.
As a full grown cis het white man.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, point taken. You know, as a like as a good humored joke. That's the way you do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's listen to what she has to say.
All right, here we go.
Able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection. And then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
So what Charmaine is saying there is all she's saying is art should make you uncomfortable sometimes.
Yes. Even if it's Star Wars.
That was the question. Well, that was the question he asked. He's like, you know, he mentioned the patriarchy and stuff like that. It's like, you know, like that, how does that factor into your process of how you make your art? And all good art says, I'm sorry, everyone who's like, oh, this stuff shouldn't be political or whatever. All art says something.
It always has, especially Star Wars.
Something about the human soul and something about the soul of the creator who's creating it. Yeah. Something that they want to put into the world. And that's what good art does. It's not good art if it's, and I mean, even the shit that Matt Walsh and them are making has something that's important to them, and it's spreading that whole woke is a mind virus thing that they want to get out there, which you could see. I mean, that's the exact same thing. Like everyone's trying to push what is important to their soul. I just happen to more agree with Charmaine here because that's what I want. Good art. In fact, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have good art that pushed my boundaries, that pushed me to a place to where I am today.
And everyone,
I wouldn't be the person I am.
Well, also, everyone's always like, Star Wars needs to go in new directions, and I'm tired of the sequel trilogy because there was no structure and it didn't feel it was disjointed. Okay, well then here's someone who's going to provide you a single solitary movie that may make you feel different ways. And you're like,
no, not a woman,
not a woman, not a woman of color. No, that's terrible. But like, that's the thing. You have to realize, and I'll give you some more history about her because I also have that pulled up just so you know where she's coming from and what kind of film she's made. And you know what? Lucasfilm reached out to her. A board of people at Disney had to approve this person to make this movie. It's not just Kathleen Kennedy and women ruining this. It is Bob Iger at the head saying, let's look at what she's worked on and see what she's done and see if she's
Bob Iger too. Bob Iger hasn't had the best track record recently, but like even he can see that like this is something that needs to happen and stuff.
Here's the opening line of her Wikipedia. Okay. Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy, born in 1978, is a Pakistani-Canadian journalist, filmmaker, and activist known for her work in films that highlight gender inequality against women. Well, great. You finally have a female-led Star Wars that is strictly Daisy Ridley, and you will be able to see something that actually could represent this. People are like really upset about having Star Wars stay consistent and say the same. And like, I understand that. I respect that. And, Andor has been making waves. So has, things like Acolyte apparently is going to be big and be different. But why can't we expect this from the movies we're going to be watching too in theaters? And it's obvious. A lot of people had their hands in this. It's not just Kathleen Kennedy. She's making a movie. She's producing a movie that has a woman.
There's entire armies of people that make these things, guys. It's not just the Kathleen Kennedy stamping the whole Eric Cartman put a chick in it, make her gay thing at all. That's not it at all.
You can see it clearly right here. She is trying to highlight gender inequality against
she's
women.
Been a journalist. She's a journalist and a filmmaker. And so, I mean, that's exactly what they don't want because they don't want to be challenged. Like what she was saying she wants to do is challenge people. They need to be challenged. They don't want to be challenged. And that is hard. It's hard. Especially when it's something that maybe like I won't say that you shouldn't have a comfort franchise, right?
Mm.
Like absolutely, like I understand like wanting to have something for comfort, but at the same
Yeah.
time, if something that you love isn't affecting you on a deep level,
Challenging
why is it even worth having in your life
Heck
if it's
yeah.
not going to make you think about where you are, what you do, you know?
Mhm.
And I mean, I used to be like, we both know, like we both grew up very religious households and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
what, like kind of have religious backgrounds. And, you know, I remember back in the day, like, you know, if anything, it made me just kind of go like, oh, I can apply this to my faith and
Yes.
stuff. It's how I kind of used to look at things. And now on this side, other side of kind of belief and things like that, where I
Mhm.
have more faith in kind of the human condition and human beings,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, it almost has a little more meaning. It's a little more, I can take it and kind of apply it to a little more. I can go,
Exactly.
okay, well, how am I going to take this in and morph the gears in my head?
Mhm.
Like, how can I use this to be a better person in the world? Like,
You know
how
what's
can I use
funny?
this to do something different, to do something better?
I wanna bring up this point too, and it's saying something to Jerry's, I guess, ideology here. We just got a series called Ahsoka, right, Jerry?
That is something that we did have. Yes.
Um,
During all of that stuff where they wouldn't pay their workers and things like that.
yes, and Dave Filoni was the creator of it and wrote all of it.
Yeah.
Were the 3 leads in this project all female?
Yeah. They
And a
were
droid,
actually.
and a droid.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it? I
Mhm.
didn't see anyone bitching about that.
I mean, I
So
saw a little bit of
I saw a
them
little
whining,
bit,
just
but
a smidge. But yeah, no, it was I
the
mean, from one
villains,
guy in particular, I know one guy in particular was worried they were taking stuff from his scripts from that show.
man. But that's the
So,
thing. I just don't understand where being a woman becomes a problem now. Because all that article says, and all she said in that video, is that she's trying to challenge people in viewing a Star Wars project. There's people that don't even identify with the
yeah.
ideology of male and female. There are people that are non-binary that may even be challenged by this ideology that is Star Wars, or they may need to be challenged by that thing, right? So here we are, having this, what some would consider controversial, when it's not at all. It's just saying I'm trying to challenge viewers. I want to make a Star Wars that maybe isn't going to be a Star Wars that, sweeps things under the rug, right?
Right.
And you said it best too with Star Trek. We've had a series like Star Trek now since the 60s with interracial
Had the first
relationships.
the first
like
interracial kiss on
yes, like
screen. Oh,
it's and
but hey,
then
we're
had
all Trekkies
characters.
here.
Yes. But no, that's the thing. It makes a sense. And look, and also she'll be the first Star Wars creator that has 2 Academy Awards, 7 Emmy Awards, and of course a Knight and an International Journalism Award. Like you're going from someone who's like an extremely credited person. She's in the 100 most influential people in the world from Time Magazine.
Yeah.
And she's only 37.
Oh,
No,
geez.
I don't know, maybe she's not 37 anymore. I don't know. But I can tell you this much.
I turned 37 this
Oh,
year. I was
she's
just gonna
45.
say,
She's
like, that's
45.
hey,
45.
gives me well, hey, gives me
I
hope, you know?
I just don't understand why everyone is so upset about this. And look, I'm gonna be real. I'm all about Star Wars being challenging. And it's funny because some of these people
Well,
that are trying to challenge this, they're very much like, the original trilogy is the only way, or the prequel trilogy is the only way, or Rogue One. Like no one
Yeah.
wants to have a female-led Star Wars and that
Well,
side of the fandom, at least.
And I mean, you said it earlier how you even have family who is, and I'm sure that like I'm gonna get asked by my father when he
Sure.
comes up in March,
Mhm.
like, hey, is that new rate? Because he said something about Star Wars this last time they were here, and I
Yeah.
was like, nah, that's bull. And he comes to me because he knows that I know, and I've told him
course.
about the grifters and stuff like
Yes.
that. It's funny because my dad is very conservative,
Yeah.
but he believes me when it comes to Star Wars, as opposed to the grifters and stuff like
Exactly.
that. Grifters who, I believe, Mr. Picard said that that one Star Wars theory reminds him of Worf. Jean-Luc Picard, do you have any more to say on that?
Commander Worf's head looks like a fanny.
Oh yeah, and so does Star Wars theories. Yes, as well. It's fine, but yeah, no. They are upset about these things because the machine told them to. It's funny because like most of the people who are saying like you're falling for the media are the ones falling for the media.
Yes.
Typically. And we both have family members that are like that. And I'm not going to say that like we're like, oh well, the opposite side of the coin is true, because I think that there are more liberal news sites as well that like can sensationalize stuff and like focus on the wrong thing. I mean, look right now with all this stuff going on with Israel and Gaza, you know, and like Palestine, kind of all of the craziness going on there. You know, these people are upset not because it's a new thing. They want to say it's a new thing, but it's because they are falling for what they're falling for their own thing. The thing that they say we're falling for, they're the ones falling for the media machine. They're the ones that are in the grinders. They're in they're in that meat grinder, like in The Wall, you know?
Yes, exactly. But that's the thing too.
They're the ones.
And like maybe because we feel so passionate about this, we want to advocate, you know, we've got people we know at Lucasfilm, you know, we've had opportunities to do pretty awesome things at Celebration, and we're connected with some people. And like, I'm not trying to defend anyone in that sense, but like, you got to take a second and step back. If you want what you're enjoying to grow, you have to let it take risk. You never know. This movie might be a flop because of the statements that were made, but that's not going to be the case, you know.
You got to be welcoming to new people coming in as well. And I'm sorry, women are not new people in this franchise. They've been here the whole damn time.
And it's upsetting because, you know, everyone wants this person to be let go. Kathleen Kennedy, I'm referring to, and like they want the
Lucasfilm Civil War is still burning hot, from what I hear.
Oh man, apparently I can't wait for Brie Larson to take over. But like, I just, I'm just eager to see the real response to this, because it ultimately isn't about us or them. It's about the kids who watched this. It's about the kids who grew up with this. It's about the people that may identify as Rey, that, hey, you know, men have all these things that we're not allowed to have. Why can't women have this either? You know, equal pay being a huge example, and even respect from certain people. I just, you know, you're right. We talked about before we recorded this, maybe we should have a woman on, and I think that is important, and we probably will have a woman on for a live discussion one day of the same exact thing. But in terms of what we wanted to pick at, things we wanted to kind of, you know, tear down and look at, it's from our perspective as these white males that are the majority of the population of Star Wars fans. And I don't know how much more I can say, but I want groundbreaking Star Wars. I want Star Wars that lifts me up, but also shows me a different perspective, you know?
Right.
And we've gotten a lot of that recently, and hopefully we'll continue to get it with Acolyte and Skeleton Crew and maybe Vision Season 3 and other things in the pipeline. But this is to our knowledge, this is the first movie that's gonna come out since The Rise of Skywalker. And at that point, if it comes out in 2025 or 2026, we don't know the exact date this movie's gonna release, but it's going to be a couple of years, but like it could be 8 years. You know,
what you're saying is this is going to be a long, long road of just fear and outrage.
Yep.
On this, which is I hope to not have to deal with that, but at the same time, the reality is that we will have to be out there. And again, like you're saying, you know, most of the guys most of the people making these loud proclamations are people like us, the straight white the cishet white men. And it's good for us to get out there and it's good to have more voices out there to show that like it's not all those guys to speak up and go, look, no, that's stupid, you're being a baby. And you should let the people you should let the true artists who make art make art.
And you have every opportunity
bottom line.
You have every opportunity to digest it, but it hasn't been made yet. And if you're going to go based on quotes or based on a video that maybe upsets you, let's take a second. Let's see how it plays out, and then let's have the discussion. Have the discussion then, you know?
Well, and also don't start it out with the phrase, I love women, okay? but don't start it out with that at all.
Yeah.
No, just let's be adults.
Yep.
Let's be respectful to everyone here with us in this fandom, because there's a lot more people than just it's not a boys club. It never has been a boys club. And just because you couldn't get anyone to date you in high school isn't those women's fault.
No, it's not.
It's not the women's fault. It's not. It's probably your confidence. That's what
exactly.
it is.
But that's the thing too. You've got to be able to take the opportunity when given to you in terms of watching this stuff and taking it in. And it's important to have these discussions, and you kind of have to see both sides. If you immediately gravitate towards what your instant belief is, then maybe you're not taking it in right. Most of these articles are posted to entice that out of you. But if you don't really read it and take in for what it's actually saying, which that Variety article literally, I don't know how anyone would find that offensive or take offense to that, or that even that clip we watch where I want to make men uncomfortable. What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with making someone uncomfortable? I watch movies all the time that make me uncomfortable. Like, if
you know
you
how many times women have been uncomfortable in movies in the past 100 years? Probably a lot.
Probably a lot. I watched American Psycho. That movie makes me uncomfortable for both men and women, because there's moments
it's
where I'm
supposed
like,
to, right? These things are supposed to make you feel icky sometimes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Another great example.
Sometimes if they want to do it with Star Wars, I'm sorry. They're just trying to make a good. They're trying to make a good film.
Yeah. Another good example recently was the Book of Boba Fett, the one about the tribes, and you see that tribe get massacred. And that's kind of what we did to the Native Americans. Both men and women did to the Native Americans. We just burned them out because we didn't want them on our land anymore. Like, you're supposed to have those feelings and thoughts as you watch this.
It's supposed to feel icky.
Yeah. And if I get to feel icky in a Star Wars movie, I'm kind of about that. If a Star Wars makes me question what I think of Star Wars, then it's doing its job. It's doing its job as an artist. Because The Mandalorian was a prime example. No one's bitching about that. We were promised a bounty hunter gunblazer show, and we were all like, oh shit, dark, seedy side of the galaxy. No, we got a story about a baby. That's what we got.
Yeah.
And you're not bitching about it because it's well done. If they marketed it as a baby show, none of y'all would have been watching it. Y'all would be like, that shit was terrible.
Well, the last season got a little woke, so they were starting to get a little.
Oh, yeah, because they have a female Mandalorian who's taking back her.
Saving his ass all the time?
Yeah, saving his ass. Weird. I wonder where that happened. I wonder where else that happened. Anyway,
somebody's got to save her skins, though.
Remember who saved Han Solo? Remember, someone's got to save her skin. Like,
we're all fine here.
Thank you. Anyway, I guess we should wrap this up. I just know that
we're just yelling at you all.
Yeah, we are.
At this point.
We
not you. You know who we're yelling at. You know who we're yelling at.
And if you like the show,
Whose head looks like a fanny.
there you go.
That's who we're yelling at.
That's right. No, I'm thankful that you and I could have the discussion and be in the same page, but also hopefully someone maybe listen to this and go, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. Maybe I'm interpreting this wrong. You know,
right?
That's kind of the part of this. It's kind of the important part is you want to make sure other people have different perspectives based on what they're taking in as well.
Yeah, like we don't need it's the whole thing where people are like, we don't need those people. We don't. But I also want this art to change people. I want art should change people. I
challenge
want
and change them.
It's good to get more people on the side of human beings.
Yep,
that's just always a good thing. So
that's how it should be.
But, let's do more of that.
Let's do more of that. Jerry, I'm glad we could talk about this. This is very off the cuff too. Jerry and I did not plan for a deep discussion on this stuff, but as always, we deliver.
Yeah, we'll do top 10 Star Wars farts next time, kids.
Next time, yep. Which one's your favorite? No, I do think it's good that we talked about this, and I can't thank you enough, Jerry. Let's do some quick plugs. Remember, every Tuesday we will be doing a podcast drop on the YouTube page and across all podcast platforms as well, audio only. And then, of course, every Thursday we will be doing our typical live streams, which are more interactive and you can be joined in. So these discussions are special. They should be held in high regard because we're not being distracted. We're like actually like focusing and doing this. So hopefully you enjoy
this. You should hold
second
this
episode
like a wee
back.
little babe. You should hold them in your arms
baby.
like a wee little babe. Protect it from the elements.
Elemental. Anyway,
Listen with your ears. Sorry,
that's pretty
I
good.
put on this cap. And I go.
You're
I
a Scottish man.
Over, yeah.
No,
groundskeeper Willie.
That's pretty good. I hope our Scottish fans are not.
Shut up.
But no, in all seriousness, follow us on all of our areas. We're going to be playing our Patreon ad as our outro for these videos. So something to enjoy. And Jerry, what should people do? What else should they do?
Well, I want to give just a proclamation or like an affirmation to those white men out there who may be a little worried about the women around them and things like that. I want you to take the spirit of Wolfman Jack facing down dollar brand Darth Vader with you, and I'm going to play a little clip for you, and then we'll go out with this here. Also, by the way, check out Ionized Bastards. Great show.
Yes.
Me and Scotty are both in that. We got to plug that well on all remaining systems. Check out Ionized Bastards. Great story this season. Great guest stars, including someone I know.
It also gets better. Michael and I have been talking. It gets really good. You're not ready for it
man,
yet.
I am so ready. I have so much fun playing 4D over there, the droid. But go over there, check us out. I don't know. A new episode just dropped whenever you're listening to this, like maybe a couple weeks ago, probably.
Yeah.
But for all of you guys that are out there, you cishet white men who hate me using that term so much, who are afraid of these women here, let me go ahead and just give you the spirit of old Wolfman Jack. Oh, no, it does not. No, it does not. Don't have the body of a terrified man. Don't have the body of a terrified man. Star Wars.
What else should they do?
Love you.
What else should they do?
You should also stay bombad, PCPO.
Imagine belonging to the world's greatest Patreon.
The Bombadcast presents the one and only club, a Patreon experience.
Ran by the most Bombad hosts of all time.
Let's be honest here. You'd be the biggest poodoo ever.
That is Star Wars talk for a piece of shit.
If you didn't join this Patreon, I mean, you'd be an absolute dumb.
The one and only club, Patreon experience, is not sold in stores.
It's just 12 easy payments of $6.99 a month for the rest of your life.
But wait, use your card right now to sign up for it. Scotty and Jerry, that's me, will give you a shout out live on the air.
There will be 10 unique perks. 10 unique perks for you if you join this Patreon. It's hosted by two of the greatest people that ever existed.
Scotty J-Ro.
And me, Jerry Cable.
Can't beat that. Broadcast to dozens of people.
How many of you have been dared to jump a ditch with no shoes on?
Why would you ask that?
Well, if you did it and you're still here, please join the Bombadcast Patreon.
Hey, come on. What's he gonna spend it on? Food?
Being a part of the Bombadcast Patreon is not a bad idea at all. Simply because, well, you don't really have that many good ideas. You're kind of an idiot. You're watching this.
That's absolutely right. Live on air, satisfaction guaranteed.
I hope you enjoy it.
It's so dense. Every single image has so many things going on.
Remember, when joining this Patreon, make sure you
stay bombad.
Stay bombad.
Stay bombad.